So in the previous class we had already studied about various cell organelles and their functions. So today we will study about some other organelles, that is plastid. Plastids are the organelles that are present only in plant cell. So plastids are absent in animal cell. These are present only in plant cells, and there are two types of plastids, that is chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplast means these are colored plastids, and leucoplast, these are colorless plastids. So plastids are found only in plant cells. There are two types of plastids, that is chromoplast, which are colored plastids, and leucoplast, which are colorless plastids. So plastids containing pigment, chlorophyll pigment, they are known as chloroplast. The plastids which contain chlorophyll pigment, they are called chloroplast. Chloroplast are very important for photosynthesis in plants, and sometimes it also contains various yellow and orange pigments in addition to chlorophyll. So the plastids that contain chlorophyll, that is called chloroplast. So the plastids that contain chlorophyll, that is called chloroplast, and chloroplast is very important, means chlorophyll is very important for photosynthesis. So chloroplast are very important for photosynthesis in plants. Chloroplast also contains various yellow and orange pigments in addition to chlorophyll. You might have noticed that some plants, these are yellow, leaves are yellow in color or reddish in color, so that is because of the chloroplast. So leucoplast are primarily organelles in which materials such as starch, oils and protein granules are stored. So main function of leucoplast is to store the starch, oils and protein granules. So the function of leucoplast, you can say to store starch, oils and protein granules. So this is about the function of the plastid, that it is found only in plant cell. There are two types, colored plastid as chromoplast, colorless plastid as leucoplast, and the plastid that contain chlorophyll, that is known as chloroplast, which is very important for photosynthesis in plants, and it also contains various yellow and orange pigments in addition to chlorophyll. Leucoplast is a primary organelle which is used to store, or which stores starch, oils and protein granules. All these things are stored in the leucoplast. Now if we will see the structure of the plastids, the internal organization of the plastids consists of numerous membrane layers embedded. Embedded means fixed or set securely. Fixed or set securely in a material called stroma. So the internal organization of the plastids, that in that internal organizations various numerous membrane layers are embedded, means they are fixed or set securely in a material. These are called stroma. So plastids are similar to mitochondria in external structure. Like mitochondria, plastids also have their own DNA and ribosomes. So here outer structure, the external structure of the plastids, these are similar to mitochondria. Like mitochondria, they also have their own DNA and ribosomes. So these are consist of numerous membrane layers embedded in a material called stroma, and the structures are similar to mitochondria. External structure is similar to mitochondria. Like mitochondria, they also have their own DNA and ribosomes. So now we will see the function, structure and function of another cell organelle, that is vacuoles. So vacuoles are storage sacs for solid or liquid content. Sac means bag like structure. It is used for storage of solid or liquid contents. Vacuoles are small in size in animal cells, but in plant cells they have very large vacuoles, means the size is more, and even the central vacuole of some plant cells, they may occupy 50 to 90% of the cell volume. So that means in animal cell vacuoles are found in small size, but plants have very large vacuoles. So vacuoles are storage sacs for solid or liquid contents. These are found in small size in animal cells, but in plant cells they have large vacuoles, and in plant cells the vacuoles are full of cell sap and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. So the vacuoles are full of cell sap. What is the cell sap? Cell sap is a fluid comprises of sugar, salt, amino acid and mainly water, and it helps in storage of many materials and maintain osmosis. So in plant cells vacuoles are full of cell sap. So in plant cell, vacuoles are full of cell sap. Cell sap is a fluid. Cell sap is a fluid that comprises of sugar, salts, amino acids and mainly water, and it helps in the storage of many materials and maintain osmosis. So it is a fluid that is consist of sugar, salt, amino acid and mainly water, and it provides turgidity and rigidity to the cell. So many substances of importance in the life of plant cell are stored in vacuoles. So vacuoles plays a major role in plant cell. It stored many important substances for the life of a plant cell. So this includes amino acids, sugar, various organic acids and some proteins. And in single celled organisms like amoeba, the food vacuole contains the food items that the amoeba has consumed. In some unicellular organisms, specialized vacuoles play important roles in expelling excess water and some waste from the cell. So the vacuoles have a very important function for the plant cell because it provides turgidity and rigidity to the cell. The vacuoles contain cell sap which provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell, and it contains many important substances for the life of plant cell like amino acids, sugars, various organic acid and some proteins. And in some unicellular organism or single celled organisms like amoeba, the vacuole has some specialized vacuoles are there. They play important roles in expelling excess water and some waste from the cell. This is all about all the cell organelles found in animal and plant cells. So each cell acquires its structure and ability to function because of the organization of its membrane and organelles in its specific ways. So every cell has its own function, its ability to function because of the cell organelles, because of its membrane. So the cell has a basic structural organization which helps the cell to perform functions like respiration, obtaining nutrition and clearing the waste material or forming new proteins. So all these things, for this the cell has a basic structural organization to do all the functions. So the cell is the fundamental and structural unit of living organism, and it is also known as the basic functional unit of life. That is why the cell is considered as the basic functional unit of life or the fundamental structural unit of living organism. In some books about cell division is not given, but in new books I think cell division is given in your book lesson 5. So just a simple thing I am telling about cell division, that there are two types of cell division takes place, that is mitosis and meiosis. This is just a general idea about the division everybody should know. So cell division takes place in two ways, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is the process of making new body cells, and meiosis is the type of cell division that creates egg and sperm cells. So mainly there are two types of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. So two types of cell division takes place. Mitosis, it helps to make new body cells, and meiosis, it creates egg and sperm cells. So during mitosis, a cell duplicates all of its cell contents including its chromosome and splits to form two identical daughter cells. So here the cell splits to form two identical daughter cell. It duplicates all of its content including chromosomes and splits to form two identical daughter cells. Meiosis, it is a two-step process. It ensures that humans have the same number of chromosomes in each generation, and it is a two-step process, means that it reduces the chromosomes number by half to form sperm and egg cells. That is, the chromosome numbers it reduces from 46 to 23. It reduces by half to form sperm and egg cells. Then it allows the genetic variation through the process of DNA shuffling while the cells are dividing. So that means when the cells are again combining, or it coming to a conceptualization of combining, then again the chromosomes are combined and it gives the full number of chromosomes, that is 46. But it is a two-step process and it reduces the chromosome number by half to form sperm and egg cells, but it ensures that the humans have same number of chromosomes in each generation. And it also allows genetic variation through the process of DNA shuffling while the cells are dividing. You can see when the cells are dividing how mitosis and meiosis, how two different ways the cells are dividing, you can see now. So you can see for both mitosis, parent cell after DNA replicates, it gives two identical daughter cell. In mitosis and meiosis, we are getting 4 daughter cells. In meiosis, we are getting 4 daughter cells. That from parent cell, we are here the chromosomes, including chromosomes, means it is divided into half. The chromosomes are reduced to half, 23, and then it is giving 4 daughter cells. More clear means clearly you will discuss, we will discuss in higher class, you will get in higher class, but now here you should know that there are two types of division, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis you are getting 2 identical daughter cell, and meiosis we are getting 4 daughter cells. So this is all about your cell division. So those who are not having cell division in your book, please find out from others and write down about the cell division and read them, so that you will be more clear about the mitosis and meiosis.